Hello, everyone, and welcome back to BBA Sports. This is the AFC East Division, as we've been going over the simulation prediction, my personal prediction, and a bold take for each and every team. If you'd like to go back and watch any of the other divisions, I put a link to the playlist in the description. We have been going division by division, all AFC divisions on Friday and all NFC divisions on Tuesdays. I created a simulation that goes from week 1 all the way through the Super Bowl that gave either a team a win or a loss and gave the final prediction for what it thought would be for every team. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel as it really helps. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to BBA Sports. This is the AFC edition, the AFC East edition of this NFL simulation prediction, my personal predictions, and a bold take for every NFL team. So let's go into the overview. For the simulation, I put each player into a specific bucket, and each of those buckets has a different point total that I assign to that player. That the buckets are superstar, dependable starter, shaky starter, quality backup, rookie, incomplete, fringe backup, or practice squad player. Then I took a specific amounts for each and every NFL team, a certain amount from every position: 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 6 receivers, 3 tight ends, 3 tackles, 3 guards, 2 centers, 4 interior defensive linemen, 4 edge players, 3 stack linebackers, 5 corners, and 3 safeties. I also added a certain amount for a head coach and for play callers, and then also the home field team had the advantage. If you'd like to go back and watch any of the past divisions, there is a link to the playlist in the description if you are interested. So let's get into it. The first team is the New York Jets. The simulation had them going 3-14, where I personally have them going 2-14. The Jets are very hard for me to grade. They traded away almost all their star talent. And last season was abysmal at best for the entire team across the entire board after they traded away everybody. They had so many different starting quarterbacks. They had so many injuries. Garrett Wilson, who going into the 2025 season was a perceived superstar, and coming out of it looked like a backup with how abysmal that entire offense was. Breece Hall, a perceived dependable starting running back, looked like a backup at best with how everything was going on. So it was very hard to grade for all the New York Jets positions just because of how bad the team performed in the 2025 season. And I think this is going to be a very similar situation this year. They do have a lot of younger players that they brought in through the draft. But again, I think this is going to be a very similar situation, as they don't really necessarily have leaders in the locker room that have been there and have put the sweat equity in of learning and growing. And they do have Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, but other than them, they don't really have anybody else. They did bring in Geno Smith, and they did bring in Minkah Fitzpatrick, but these are outside influences that are coming in, and we saw what happened to the Dolphins over the past several years, and that's what I feel like they're trying to do with the New York Jets at this time around, after trading away everybody. This goes into the bold take, by the way. The Jets, by the end of the year, will have had fired Aaron Glenn and had 3 starting quarterbacks. I don't think Geno Smith is the quarterback that he was with the Seattle Seahawks. And I think that they're going to have Cade Klubnik come in and then a different quarterback, either one that's already on the roster or a different quarterback altogether that they bring in. But I think they're going to have 3 starting quarterbacks by the end of the year. I think they're just going to have a terrible season altogether, and they're going to fire their second-year head coach. This goes into the next team, and that is the Miami Dolphins, who are in a similar situation to the Jets, but not as drastic in my opinion. The simulation has them going 6-11, where I personally have them going 5-12. I think the Dolphins are in an interesting situation, especially after the cap situation that they've been in, the most dead cap in the entire NFL history. But I'm also very optimistic because they do have a lot of younger players. Where the Jets have younger players, but they also have a lot of older players of what we know of what they are, or a lot of older players of we don't know what they are, but they're old. They don't have the promising talent of, or the promise and the intrigue of these younger players that the Dolphins have. I feel like they could either go 2-15 all the way up to 9-8. I think that's the room for the Dolphins, but I'm decided to go with 5-12. And then here's my bold take. Of all the receivers that they brought in this year, I think Caleb Douglas is going to be their number 1 receiver. Caleb Douglas will have over 1,000 yards and be the Dolphins' number 1 receiver by the end of the season. I'm very interested in everything that's been going on. So this is the Miami Dolphins. So the next team is the Buffalo Bills. The simulation has them going 13-4, where I personally have them going 13-4 as well. I'm very, very intrigued in the Buffalo Bills this season. They did fire Sean McDermott, but they also have an offensive coordinator who's been working with the team already and promoted him to head coach. So this is a very different situation than most of these new head coaches who bring in completely different people altogether, versus this is a promotion from within. So I think that the Buffalo Bills are in a very interesting situation. And this goes into the bold take. Josh Allen will have his best passing year with over 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. He hasn't ever passed over 4,500 yards, and he's never gone over he's never reached 40 touchdowns through the air. And I think with this situation that they're in, with trading for DJ Moore, several of these other receivers that they have, the tight end room, the running back, I think overall this is a great situation for Josh Allen to prove that he is one of the best when it comes to quarterback talent in the NFL, as well as in history. So I think this is the Buffalo Bills. And this is the final team, the New England Patriots. The simulation had them going 10-7, where I personally had them going 11-6. I really like what the Patriots have going for them. They do. However, this was my biggest knock on them going into this season. Yes, they were in the Super Bowl, and yes, they had a really good team. They were playing at the right football, at the right amount of football, at the right time, but they were playing a last place schedule. And they were playing a lower ranked schedule that was not a first ranked schedule. And that is a very big difference because you're going against the division winners, and that is a very different situation. And I don't think that the New England Patriots are necessarily going to be able to handle that pressure as well as the Buffalo Bills usually do, because the Buffalo Bills have been going through this situation year after year with Josh Allen at the helm. And this is Drake May's first year going against high quality competition almost the entire year, not just towards the end, where he was playing at the right kind of football at the right time. They did bring in new receivers, more talented receivers, in Romeo Doubs and A.J. Brown. But talking about receivers, I don't think this is a very bold take. And here's the bold take. The New England Patriots will not have a receiver that goes over 1,000 yards. I think they will have a few 900s in Romeo Doubs and A.J. Brown, maybe 800, around 800, 900, but I don't think any of them cracks 1,000 yards. And here's why. They have a lot of younger receivers. They have these two receivers that they brought in this season. They have Hunter Henry, who they just extended, who's been a very solid tight end for them. They also have a two-headed running back duo. I'm very interested in what the New England Patriots have, but I just don't think they're going to be as good as the Buffalo Bills are this season. Because the Buffalo Bills are also going from playing a first place schedule to a second place schedule, and that changes a lot. So let's go into the final rankings. The simulation has the Buffalo Bills going 13-4, then the Patriots at 10-7, the Dolphins at 6-11, and the Jets at 3-14. My personal rankings has the Bills going 13-4, the Patriots going 11-6, the Dolphins going 5-12, and the Jets going 2-15. This was the AFC East edition of the predictions and bold takes for every NFL division. All AFC teams are on Friday, and all NFC teams are on Tuesdays. Please come back next Tuesday as we'll be doing the NFC East. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like button and please subscribe, as it really, really helps the channel. Thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed the video.